Welcome to Betfair's season previews. We're going to kick off today with the Adelaide Crows. I'm here with Harry Stanley, and for a lot of people, the Adelaide Crows actually exceeded expectations last year, only 8 wins. But Harry, how do you think they're going to go this year?
This year I think we'll probably do about the same as we did last season. We've got a couple of good picks in from Max McElhaney. He's a father-son. His old man played 211 games for the Norwood, so he's a big defender that comes into the side. And then Isaac Rankin comes in from Gold Coast, so we've seen how good he is up forward, and so he's a great addition to the Crows forward line.
Isaac Rankin's certainly a very, very talented player, and he's probably going to have a breakout year for the Crows if he didn't have one for Gold Coast last year. But Harry, you've had a look at the whole team, and you've got a pick for a player that you think's going to break out this year.
Yeah, I've got two players. I think Sam Berry, he's a 20-year-old. He's going into his third season at the Crows. He was the number one tackler last season. He led the league in tackles with a total of 173 across 18 games. And, you know, he's averaged last season 17.6 disposals a game. So he's not quite elite, but, you know, he's still growing as a player. And for a 20-year-old to be that good this early, you know, that's good signs.
It's certainly, Harry, and obviously tackling is a huge show of endeavour, and for a young player only 20 years old, we're hoping that he has a big year next year. And you had another player in mind for a breakout year?
Yeah, I think Darcy Fogarty is going to have a good year this year. I think he hasn't sort of lived up to expectations since he came to the Crows. A lot of fans have touted him as the player to replace Tex when he finishes at the end of this season. And I just love his ferocity in the forward line. He's got great attack on the footy. It's probably reflective in how many free kicks he gave away last season. He gave away 20, which is quite a lot, but it's because he's so hard at the footy and hard at the opponent, which I love. So I think he'll have a great season. Yeah,
he's certainly an imposing player, and you know, defenders are going to be quite scared of him when he's at full flight in the forward line. But, you know, looking at potentially their best forward line, they've got Isaac Rankin that will step in there, Darcy Fogarty, who you think will have another breakout year. Rochelle, obviously his first season last year was one of the rising star chances. Riley O'Brien will go down there and spend some time, but obviously Taylor Walker has shown no signs of slowing down, which has surprised many. But let's go over to a best and fairest Smoky, Harry. Who are you thinking in that area? Obviously Jordan Dawson's no Smoky, but he's the new Crows captain this year. Who are you thinking is going to be winning that best and fairest award?
For the best and fairest, I actually think Tom Doedee. He's in his 8th season at the Crows, and you know, despite having a couple of injuries early on in his time at the club, he's found his way into the Crows leadership group and has become an integral part of the backline there. And I see him, you know, leading from the backline with Brodie Smith alongside him, and doing the little 1%ers that, you know, sometimes go unnoticed by the general public, but the clubs really love those type of things. So I think he's a good chance for best and fairest.
Yeah, definitely hit the nail on the head there. Those sorts of players, especially Tom Doedee, obviously was in contention as one of the chances for the Crows captaincy, and probably arguably unlucky to get it. Jordan Dawson's obviously going to be a fantastic captain, but yeah, I think that's a great selection of Tom Doedee. Looking forward to him being that real major back in the back line for the Crows this year. They're a hard team to bet around, given the expectation for punters is not high. They're probably not the biggest top 8 chance, but is there anything that you've found on the Betfair Exchange in terms of a bet that you could potentially lead in punters?
Yeah, I actually really like them in round 1 against GWS. They're currently $2.18 on the exchange. And I think GWS are not going to have the greatest year, and although it's an away game, I just think we can knock over GWS during that game and get the season off to a good start.
He says we like he's part of the Adelaide army, but don't worry, he's looking at that from a Betfair Exchange perspective. Well, that's all we've got time for the Adelaide Crows. For more season previews of the AFL, head to the Betfair Hub now.
Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-858-858.